Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Tony TV, and it's time for the takeover. Challenge Wednesdays, we at it. Tonight, y'all, was a great episode. Amanda chose violence from the beginning to the end. I love it. I didn't used to be an Amanda fan that much, but tonight, Amanda sold me, y'all. Amanda did what needed to be done. So, let's get into this week's episode. Now, this week, we have a girls' elimination. The Emerald team has been untouched this entire time. Emerald team's the only one still with 6 whole people. From the beginning to now, Emerald's been locked in. They've been winning every week, and they ain't been touched. And everybody's confused as to why they haven't been touched. But nobody wants to break it up. For what reason? I still don't know. Because why would you not want to break up the team that's winning every week? Then we have Big T, who is ready to switch teams. She's tired of being on Ruby team. She's tired of losing, which makes sense. Nobody want to be a loser every week. So Big T said, I got to get up out of here. I got to go. Problem is, though, nobody wants Big T on their team either, because that might make them a losing team as well. So Big T wants to go to Sapphire team to be with CT, but CT don't want to be with Big T. So now the T's is arguing and they don't want to be together, and it's a sticky situation. CT just don't feel like she's really gonna add to the team. He feels like she's gonna weigh them down and not help them win the final. Fair point. So then we enter this week's daily, which is called Submerged, and they get into this aircraft that gets submerged underwater. Now, while they're underwater, they have to collect 25 symbols, and once they collect all 25 symbols, they have to come to land and build a puzzle. Now, in order to solve the puzzle, there's a key underneath the aircraft that's submerged underwater, and someone in the water has to read out where all the symbols get placed to somebody that's on land. And the first team to complete the whole puzzle in the quickest time wins the challenge. I couldn't do that personally. Being submerged underwater, that's not gonna work for me. My swimming not that well, so I gotta go to land real quick. So first up we got Emerald Team. They got 6 people. So I'm like, okay, 6 of y'all searching for 25 symbols. This should be pretty easy for y'all. And y'all been working together this whole time, so it really shouldn't be a struggle. They started out pretty well. They started out, doing what they gotta do, collecting all the pieces. Boom, 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 boom. Then they was missing a piece. That was Josh's. Josh forgot to get his piece because all of them, like inside, when they were inside the aircraft, each person had at least one piece that was next to their seat. Josh forgot to grab his piece. So by him not grabbing his piece, they were on here looking for the extra piece. He has it this whole time. So that slowed them down a little bit, but they ended up completing it. Then next we have the Ruby team, which is only 4 of them. And I'm already noticed on GoTour. You got Nelson, Kyle, Big T, and Amanda. Not a good grouping. Big T's job is to read out the pieces to Amanda, who's on land trying to solve the puzzle. However, Big T says she can't go that deep underwater to read off the pieces. So at that point, the whole plan gotta get switched up. Now Kyle and Nelson have to collect all the pieces and also go under the boat to read Amanda the pieces. So now Big T is basically doing nothing. She's just dead weight there. I think she's starting to prove CT right at this point. And then they run out of time. So they pretty much get disqualified. Okay, so last but not least, we have the Sapphire cell, which is CT, Logan, Ashley, and Emmy, and it's their turn to go. So they go down there, they got a set game plan. Ashley gonna solve the puzzle, CT gonna call it out, Emmy and Logan gonna get the pieces. Cool, boom, got it. Working very well together, doing what they gotta do. Then they another team, they missing a piece. It was underneath the boat. Emmy saves the day. She grabbed the piece. She's like, I want to be the one to grab the piece, so my team can say I'm the savior. Cool. She grabs the piece. They finish. They get it done pretty quickly. And it worked out well in their favor because finally, Emerald Team does not win this week. Sapphire got this win. So I'm like, okay, finally, somebody going to shake this house up. The time is now. If the time wasn't before, it's now. So pre-nomination ceremony, the Sapphire team's having a team meeting, and CT basically says he doesn't want to vote in anyone from the Emerald's team because they've been keeping him safe this whole time when they could have been throwing him down there. Which, yes, very true. He would be a good option for them to have thrown him down because he's a strong guy, so they could have got him out. And then you have Big T, who's going around saying that she has a feeling she's going to go win, and if she does, she wants to go against Amanda. So Amanda starts to hear wind of this. And when they go out to the club that night, she see all the girls talking, and she's not part of the conversation, so she pretty much goes up to them and pretty much just says, do y'all plan on all voting for me if you get called down there? So she's like, well, at that point, I'm just going to have them vote me in, and I'm going to shake this whole thing up. Nobody should feel safe. Okay, so then we get to the nomination ceremony. And when we get there, it's only CT, Emmy, and Logan as far as the Sapphire team. Ashley's missing, but they don't clarify why she's missing at the moment. But she misses the nomination ceremony. Very confusing. Not understanding what's going on. Then all the girls pretty much they get to have their little speech about why they think they either should or shouldn't go in. Big T says she's not ready to go in, but she understands that there aren't many options, so if she has to go in, she's ready. But then Amanda basically says she knows all the girls plan on picking her, so she wants the Sapphire team to just vote her in. So then she has the option to pick who she wants to go against. Makes sense. Amanda doing what she gotta do. She said, y'all not gonna play me and just put me down there. I wanna have the ball in my court. I wanna make the final decision. But also, everyone also knows that Amanda plans on, if she wins, she's gonna infiltrate the Emerald team because she wants to be on the winning team going into the final so she can have a chance to win. Makes sense. That's what everybody would want. Basically, Devin's mad at Amanda because Amanda wants to come on his team even though his team keeps winning because he feels like Amanda's gonna weigh his team down and make them not as good, which she probably won't. But you can't be mad at her for wanting a better shot at winning the challenge. That's kind of the reason of her being there. So then he calls her selfish and says that she doesn't win anything and that she can't make empty threats to people and all this. And it's like, he was taking a lot of personal jabs at her that he could have saved for another time and not in front of everybody. But I guess Devin was just real high on his emotions as he's been all season. Why are you surprised? This is nothing new from Amanda. She's told y'all from the jump, when she gets a chance, she's coming over to the Emerald team because she wants to be on the winning team. At the end of the day, even though y'all on teams, only one person will get their cash prize. So Amanda should, at the end of the day, play for herself and make sure she aligns herself on whatever team she needs to be on to have the best chance of winning. That's what all y'all are doing. That's why the Emerald team doesn't want to break up, because you feel like as the 6 of y'all have the best chance of winning the final. So the same way you feel that way, Amanda feels that if she comes onto your team, she'll have a better chance of winning the final as well. So she's not trying to go home. Nobody would try to go home. Josh, who has to have an input about everything, he pretty much tells Amanda that she needs to consider him as her friend, and the fact that this is the closest he's ever gotten to a final and the chance of possibly winning, so that she should reconsider trying to infiltrate the green team. Right, it don't really make sense. You want her to consider your game, but not consider her own game. And Amanda already speaks about how she already jeopardized her games once for Ashley, and she said she's not doing that again, which makes sense. Why you gonna keep jeopardizing your money? That don't make sense. And now she has a whole child, so she ain't got time to be here now and go home empty-handed. That baby coming for all y'all, so y'all can't keep telling her that she needs to consider all of y'all games and all y'all personal feelings, but not worry about her own game. Josh says how Josh tries to call Amanda out and talks about how he wants to run the final with everyone that he already has on his team. But prior and early in the episode, Josh tells Amanda that he wants to run the final with Casey and Nani. Specifically, he leaves out Tori's name, pretty much giving Amanda the go-ahead that if she does want to infiltrate, to take Tori's spot. But now that they in the chamber for the nomination ceremony, now he's like, oh, I want to run the final with everyone that's on my team. And Amanda's like, oh, really? Because that's not what you told me before. So then Amanda pretty much calls him out and was like, you told me who you wanted to run with, and Tori wasn't one of those names. So he tries to backtrack that statement, said that's not what he said. Now Tori feels away, because now Tori feels as if her team feels that she's disposable, and she knows she offers a lot of value to the team, which I feel like she does. I wouldn't have thought Tori was the weakest girl on the team, to be honest. I would have thought the weakest girl was Nani. I don't think Nani's like a weak player overall, but I feel like Tori's definitely better than Nani at least. So I don't get how Tori has become the weakest player on the team. Let's run the tape. Let's run the past seasons. I've seen Tori compete well by herself multiple times. Nani, not so much. At least not in the most recent season. If y'all have some answers, please tell me, because I need help. I need somebody to figure it out for me, because I can't figure it out. Then the Sapphire team, they get to cast their nominations. They send Amanda in, so now Amanda will get to go down to elimination and pick her partner. So we get to the elimination, and then it's time for Amanda to pick her partner. Y'all, Amanda done did all this talking. Ain't nobody safe. She picks Big T. And I'm just like, so what was all of that commotion, all that arguing about if you were just gonna pick Big T anyway, when Big T was gonna pick you? So really, like, the same thing happened regardless, so I'm not understanding what all that was about. Pretty much she explained that if she would have chose to go against Tori, when it was time for her to infiltrate the team, she would have had to infiltrate either Nani or Casey, and she wants to run the final with Nani and Casey, so the only way she can get that chance is if she calls down Big T and goes against Big T, and then at that point, by her being a winner, she can infiltrate and take Tori's spot. And then also, right before they actually start the elimination, they tell us that apparently Ashley did something that was against the rules and she got sent home. So Ashley out for the season. We don't get a good clarifying answer of what happened. From what I read from the internet, they saying something about she got into an altercation with Josh and might have called him gay during the altercation, and that led to her being sent out of the house. I don't like the fact that apparently this altercation has happened, but they're not giving us complete information. It's like, we watching the season, let us watch the season, let us know what's happening. I don't like being left in the dark and y'all just randomly sending players home, and we get an explanation as to why. So the elimination is called Vault Escape, and with this elimination, they have a 20-foot wall, and they have poles on both sides of the wall. Now all the poles are locked currently, so it's 8 poles on each side, so they have to twist and pull all 8 poles to come completely out, and then once they do, they have to climb on top of all of them. When they get to the very top, they have to ring their bell. Now the problem is, it ain't just like, oh, you twist it, it's gonna pop out. it's a bunch of levers and niches inside of it. So you have to twist it until you get to the right one, to where the pole will come completely out. And when it comes completely out, then you can move on and keep climbing up higher and higher. So it doesn't sound too bad. I mean, it's obviously going to be tiring on your forearms the longer you have to do this and the longer it takes. So the girls get started. They both twisting and turning and bop it and boop it, and you know, all of that good stuff. So Amanda, straight out the gate, she got a little strategy. She's like inching it very slow as she turns it to pull it out, so she doesn't miss the niche that it needs to hit on and have to start all the way over. So by doing that, out the gate, Amanda up by a good 3 logs before Big T even gets her first one. So Amanda's still going, Amanda doing what she got to do. Then eventually Big T get that first one. Then after that first one, and Big T catches up. Now they neck and neck at 3. Then Amanda, she going overdrive. She's knocking them out. Big T struggling. She getting up there. She inching. But she's not inching enough, because then Amanda get to that very top. So she get to the top. She ring that bell. Amanda won the elimination. I was so happy that she won. Like, I'm telling y'all, usually I'm not that happy for Amanda, or like I'm not really ever rooting for Amanda. But this episode and this season, I was like, yeah, Amanda choosing violence. She finna eat it up. She gonna do what I got to do to make the season interesting, and she does exactly that. So I was happy. I was proud. I'm like, all right, yes, you get to stay in the game. Congratulations. Keep shaking this shit up. They send Big T out. They said, Big T, obviously, your time's up for the season. Then TJ was like, okay, no, Big T come back, and we was like, what the hell? So Big T come back, and he like, I've already lost 1 challenger for the day. I don't need to lose 2. So Big T get to stay in the game. All of a sudden, she gets to go back to the Ruby team. So I'm like, okay, Big T, this is your second chance. Don't blow it. Figure something out to, stay in the game a little longer. Don't just be the next girl to go back in. Then Amanda gets to choose what team she wants to infiltrate, or she wants to go back to Ruby. Like she's been saying this whole time, she was infiltrating the green team, and she does exactly that. She takes Tori's spot. So now Tori has to go to the Ruby team, and Amanda now joins the Emerald team. Emerald team's still at 6. I'm interested to see how the Emerald team works out now with having Amanda on their team, and how that dynamic is, because all of them aren't necessarily happy to have her. Now Tori's pissed because now Tori on the Ruby team. Her chances of being on the winning team for the final looking a little slim, but also we got a lot of season left, so it could really go either way. She might get a chance to come back on the Emerald team. I think she's gonna do her best on the Ruby team. I know the Ruby team is happy to have her because at least she's a strong girl, so they might have a better chance of winning a daily challenge. But yeah, I'm happy that Amanda chose violence this episode and started shaking it up, because that's what we needed. It was interesting. It was good. I'm back excited to see what's going on next week. And make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Tomorrow we added new season of Challenge All-Stars Season 2 is premiering on Paramount Plus, so I'm gonna be reviewing that as well on Thursdays. And let's run it up. I'm gonna catch y'all next week.